You know how it feels when a team that's been a juggernaut suddenly looks hesitant? That's where the Chiefs are right now, and this isn't the time for optimism that's built on hope alone. It's time for concrete fixes. If the Chiefs keep doing what they've been doing, the regular season could end a lot sooner than you want. But if they lock on three things: physicality, coaching adaptability, and leadership accountability, they can still make a real run. This episode cuts straight to those three fixes and gives you exactly what to watch for in the next game. First, this is not a blame show. It's a wake-up. You've seen the slowness to start, the plays that get away, and the games where the team looks like it's conserving energy instead of taking over. That pattern isn't random. It's a mindset and schematic problem combined. Fixing it starts with players deciding right now what this version of the team will be remembered for. A fold under pressure, or a gritty comeback that remembers how to finish. That choice is on the field, every snap. Second, the coaching staff has to stop being predictable. Opponents have the Chiefs' tendencies scouted. You don't need me to tell you that. What you do need is a plan for when Plan A fails. Not excuses, not complexity for complexity's sake, but straightforward contingency packages that get the offense and defense back on track quickly. We'll get into specifics on that in the next chapters. Finally, leaders have to lead differently. Leadership isn't speeches on the sideline. It's push, example, and the small visible things that change effort and buy-in. I'll spell out how leaders should shift their approach and what you should look for from the veteran core. Quick poll. In the comments, vote now. Do you still think the Chiefs are Super Bowl contenders this year? Yes or no? And tell me why in one line. And before we dive into Fix Nor 1, do me a favor. Hit like and subscribe to help us reach 6,000 subscribers. It helps the channel keep producing breakdowns like this. Stay locked with Total Chiefs news. When you look at this team right now, the biggest gap isn't talent. It isn't scheme. It's physicality. Pure, simple, snap-to-whistle physicality. You can see it in the run game when a block is just a half-second late or a lane closes because the finish wasn't there. You see it in open field tackling when a defender arrives but doesn't arrive violently enough to stop the play's momentum. And you see it on both sides of the ball when the first 5 minutes look like the team is waking up instead of attacking. That's not who the Chiefs have been during their biggest playoff runs. Those teams weren't just smart and explosive. They were physically demanding. They imposed their approach on opponents, not the other way around. When this team gets back to that, everything else starts to click. Let's talk about the run game first. Physicality doesn't automatically mean 40 carries. It means committing to the attitude that every run is an opportunity to wear the opponent down, build rhythm for the offensive line, and create easier throws for Patrick Mahomes. Even a 3-yard run can be a statement if it's finished correctly. Pad level down, drive through the defender, and finish the rep with power. That's what this offensive front needs to rediscover. When they do, play action becomes more dangerous, pre-snap disguise hits harder, and defenses stop pinning their ears back. Defensively, the same principle applies. Spagnuolo's group thrives when they play downhill and tackle with intent, not hesitation. Too many drives this season have extended because the first tackler slowed up instead of arriving with force. Fixing that doesn't require a new scheme. It requires a reset in mentality. You get one chance to change the energy of a game, and it's usually on contact. That's where the tone gets set. And physicality isn't just hitting. It's detail. It's wide receivers finishing routes, even when they're not getting the ball. It's defensive backs attacking the catch point instead of waiting for the receiver to come down with it. It's effort that shows up on film even if it never appears on the stat sheet. This team has the personnel to be physical. The question is whether the mindset will match the talent from here on out. If the Chiefs decide as a unit to bring that finish back into every rep, the entire identity of the team changes immediately. That's why fix number 1 isn't optional, it's foundational. Before we move to fix number 2, I want to hear from you. Comment one moment this season where you saw a lack of physicality. Call out the game and the drive if you remember it. And while you're here, make sure to like the video and subscribe to help us reach 6,000 subscribers. If physicality is the heartbeat, coaching is the steering wheel. And right now the wheel isn't turning fast enough. Opponents aren't just beating the Chiefs physically. They're beating them strategically because the game plans have become too narrow, too predictable, and too slow to adapt when things go wrong. That's not a talent issue. That's a flexibility issue, and it's something the coaching staff has full control over. This team has always thrived when Andy Reid's creativity meets real-time adaptability. But lately, opponents know exactly how to knock the Chiefs off rhythm. One unexpected coverage look, one defensive front shift, one early mistake, and the offense spends too long trying to force its way back to the original plan instead of pivoting to something that counters what the defense is actually doing. That can't continue. Not in November, not against playoff-caliber opponents, and not when every game matters. The coordinators need simpler fallback packages ready to go. Not wholesale changes, just clean, executable answers for when the first plan stalls. Think of it like a toolbox. If the hammer isn't working, you reach for a wrench, not swing harder with the same tool. Right now, the Chiefs keep swinging the same hammer. That's why drives stall. That's why the offense feels tight instead of fluid. On defense, it's the same issue in a different form. Steve Spagnuolo is one of the best defensive minds in the league. But there are moments when the plan is too rigid. When an opponent hits a certain concept over and over, the adjustment can't wait until halftime. The contingency has to be automatic, communicated, prepared, and expected. The Chiefs have the talent on defense to mix coverages, vary fronts, disguise pressures, and attack weak links. But talent without tailored adjustments becomes predictable, and predictable football gets punished. Another major issue is overcomplexity. Some of the Chiefs' best stretches this season came when they simplified. Faster play calls, quicker decisions, clearer assignments. Complexity is great when the offense is comfortable and the rhythm is established. But when the team is struggling, complexity becomes a weight. Removing that weight might be the single easiest coaching fix available. What fans should watch for next game is this: how quickly the Chiefs pivot when the first 2 series don't go as planned. Look for tempo changes, formation shifts, quicker reads, and simpler concepts that let Mahomes get the ball out. If you see that, it means the message finally landed. Before we jump into leadership and accountability in Chapter 4, answer this in the comments. Which needs the bigger fix? The play calling or the in-game adjustments? And if you're getting value from this breakdown, hit like and subscribe to help us hit 6,000 subscribers. When a team hits a wall, true change rarely starts with scheme or talent. It starts with leadership, the kind that shifts the energy in the building, not just the tone in the press conferences. And right now, the Chiefs need a different style of leadership than what's carried them through the last several seasons. This isn't about calling out Mahomes, Kelsey, Jones, Bolton, or anyone else. It's about recognizing that the same messages that worked during their championship runs aren't landing the same way today. Championship fatigue is real. When you've played deep into January year after year, the emotional load builds up. Veterans have seen it all. Younger players assume the standard will hold without realizing how much effort it takes to maintain it. That's where leadership becomes the spark. And that spark hasn't been strong enough this season. The shift that needs to happen isn't dramatic or theatrical. It's incremental. It's leaders demanding more out of themselves in front of everyone. It's staying after practice for 5 extra minutes to fix a detail that shows teammates what commitment looks like. It's defensive leaders pulling younger players aside after blown assignments and walking them through what should have happened. It's offensive leaders refusing to let a sloppy rep slide, even in a walkthrough. Leadership is visible before it's impactful. Another piece of this is accountability. Not the vague, "we need to be better" kind. Real accountability that's uncomfortable. Players calling each other out in the film room when a rep isn't good enough. Coaches demanding immediate corrections instead of waiting until midweek. Veterans vocalizing when intensity isn't where it needs to be. This roster has talent at every level, but the gap between talent and execution is filled by accountability. There's also the motivational side. Leaders set the emotional tone, and right now the team needs urgency, not routine. Practices need to feel different. Meetings need to carry weight. The locker room needs voices that challenge the group, not just encourage them. When urgency rises, execution tends to follow. Here's the truth. This team has leaders who know how to do all of this. The question is whether they're willing to shift gears and lead in a way that's sharper, louder, and more demanding. If they do, the Chiefs will look like a completely different team within 2 weeks. Before we move into the season rescue blueprint in Chapter 5, I want you to comment this. Which leader do you think needs to set the tone this week? Pick one name and tell me why. And don't forget, if the Chiefs want to save this season before it slips into something none of us want to see, the fixes we've talked about, physicality, coaching adaptability, and leadership, have to merge into a clear, actionable plan. This team doesn't need a full rebuild. It needs a reset, a return to the habits that made them dominant. And the good news for Chiefs Kingdom is that every fix required is fully within their control. The first short-term win is starting fast. Too many games this season have opened with the Chiefs feeling things out, while the opponent punches first. That has to flip immediately. You can script the first 10 plays with tempo, simplicity, and decisiveness. Don't wait to adjust. Start the game in attack mode. A quick score or even a confident early drive changes the entire emotional temperature on the sideline. Next, the Chiefs need to prioritize identity drives. These are series designed not for creativity, but for tone. Heavy run looks, quick perimeter throws, play action early. Anything that forces the defense to respect multiple threats. These drives not only settle the offense, they also energize the defense and re-establish the rhythm that this team has been missing. Defensively, the rescue plan revolves around situational awareness. That means smarter third-down calls, cleaner communication pre-snap, and eliminating the 1 or 2 mental lapses that extend drives. Spagnuolo's defense is at its best when it brings controlled chaos, not desperation. You'll know the Chiefs are on the right track when blitzes feel purposeful and coverage rotations feel tight again. Special teams play a part too. A strong return, a pin inside the 10, or a critical field goal can swing momentum. When a team is trying to claw back consistency, every yard matters. Dave Taub's units have historically been reliable, but a spark here would accelerate the turnaround. The final piece is emotional momentum. One strong win can reset the tone of an entire locker room. 2 wins in a row can erase a month of sloppiness. And if the Chiefs stack even 3 strong performances, the conversation about this team shifts overnight from "what's wrong" to "here they come." The blueprint is simple. Hit early, hit hard, stay adaptable, and let leadership drive the urgency. If the Chiefs commit to that, the story of this season won't be about a collapse. It'll be about a comeback. Before we wrap up, jump into the comments and answer this. What's the single most important thing the Chiefs must fix first? Your take might show up in our next video. And if you're new here, hit like and subscribe. Help us push to 6,000 subscribers and keep Chiefs Nation informed. Stay locked with Total Chiefs News. Hail Chiefs!